decided to run. Now I know why. Yeah. I'm not going to be that nice to you, Chris. Yeah. You're not doing well. He's not doing well. And his whole shtick right now is to piggyback on talking about Trump. Frankly, just like Michael Cohen did. Yeah. You just piggyback and try and get a name for yourself, and it doesn't work. He's failed at many times in politics. He's going to fail again, clearly. And frankly, he should just drop out at this point, in my opinion.
Well, I think so, too. I mean, look.
Several days later.
What a shock here for Trump. I'm going to fall over dead. Now look, every one of those boos, every one of those catcalls, every one of those yells will not keep it, yes, sure, will not solve one problem we face in this country, will not solve, and will not make this country better. Your anger against the truth is reprehensible.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Chris Krispy Kreme Christie, right? Or Chris Krispy Kreme. I'm not sure exactly which one is the best nickname for Krispy Kreme Christie. But Krispy Kreme, who is probably one of the most unlikable politicians in the country, right? I mean, even in the Republican Party as well, too. This guy has an unfavorability rating of 51.5%, okay? Literally half of the country dislikes this guy. And he is polling damn near, he's in 5th place, right? In the Republican primary. Now, this guy's whole campaign is about Trump, right? It's about Trump. It's not about him, okay? He doesn't actually really want to be president. He's simply in the race just to attack Trump and to talk about Trump all day long, which is basically what he does for the most part when he goes on mainstream liberal media, because him, like the rest of the Republicans that have absolutely no chance of beating Trump, are hoping and praying for Trump to get convicted and somehow, some way pulled out of the GOP primary race and ineligible to run for president of the United States. That's what they're hoping for.
And I think everybody that's watching needs to understand, from somebody who did this work for 7 years, you don't give Mark Meadows immunity unless the evidence he has is unimpeachable.
Oh, yeah.
And I said this yesterday. I want Republican voters to understand this. What's going to be happening in March? He's going to be sitting in a courtroom in Washington, D.C., with Mark Meadows 20 feet away from him, saying he committed crimes in front of me on my watch. Not some rogue prosecutor,
I want to stop you
Joe.
a second.
He's a former prosecutor.
He's a former prosecutor. I want to stop you right there, and I want to underline what I've said, because we have a lot of Democrats watching this show, but as I'm sure you know, we have a lot of Republicans that are watching this show. And I just want to say to my Republican friends that are watching, everybody that's testifying against Donald Trump, they're not editorial writers for the New York Times or primetime hosts at MSNBC. They are all Trumpers who stayed with Trump to the very end.
Yeah. Look, this is a guy who was Velcroed to Trump's hip for the entire 2020 campaign and all the post-campaign nonsense. And so this is deadly. It's done. He's going to be convicted.
But
it's over.
Can't he run for president and put delay and get out of it?
Well, I don't think he can delay it. No, I don't have the impression that this district court judge in Washington is amenable to delay.
It's a March 4th.
She seems pretty.
So it's a March 4th trial right now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Maybe give or take a month. You think the judge may?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it starts in April. Maybe not though. I mean, look, she has not given much at this point into the defense claims for delay. And I think that's why Jack Smith indicted this case with just Trump.
Right.
Because you don't have multiple defendants.
Yes. This
is it. He left 6 unindicted co-conspirators, not because he doesn't think they committed crimes, but because he learned from the documents case. Like, I think he made a mistake in the documents case.
By the way, they can bring cases against those other 6 later on if they don't cooperate.
As long as it's within the statute of limitations, they can.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? That is what Christie has relegated himself to, okay? He's a mouthpiece for the liberal media and the Democrat Party, whom they don't give a damn about what he thinks in regards to his policies or anything that he believes at all, right? They don't care. They never ask him, hey, Chris, what do you think about the economy? Right? They never ask Christie that because they don't care, okay? What they care about is Christie giving them prime masturbation material that they so desperately crave when it comes to the potential for Trump to be locked up, okay, if he is convicted of these political persecutions that have been levied against him by the Democrat-controlled deep state, okay? And Christie, again, he cannot seem to get Trump off of his mind. It's actually pretty sad, and it's getting downright creepy.
Well, if he doesn't do any of the debates, Howie, we're going to give him another chance. I'm sure he's not coming to the Reagan debate. We'll give him another chance in Alabama. But if he doesn't come there, then I'm going to follow him around the country. Wherever he goes, I'll go. And we'll wind up talking to each other one way or the other. And he knows that's true. You're going to change
your travel schedule to go where Trump goes, just so I'm clear.
You bet.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, again, that is downright creepy, okay? I think Trump needs to keep a diet and exercise plan on him at all times to avoid Christie following him around, okay? Because there's only a few instances in life where Christie actually runs anywhere, right? The first place is that he runs to is the buffet table, right? That's the first place. And what he runs away from is diet and exercise. So all Trump has to do is go to a gym and make sure that Christie won't be there. Oh, man, I'm dying right now. Anyways, Christie, okay, clearly not well liked, okay? He's obsessed with Trump. So everybody knows that when this man speaks, he's going to be talking about Trump. He can't keep Trump's name out of his mouth. Trump is on his mind 24/7, okay? I think I'm starting to question Christie's sexuality at this point, right? In regards to his obsession with another man, okay? And again, everybody knows this. And that is why Christie, before he could even start to speak at a speech that he was giving at the GOP Freedom Summit in Florida, he basically got booed into smithereens. And at that point, he lost his mind on the audience because, again, they kept booing him while he was on stage. Take a look.
Yeah. Well, now it feels like home. Thank you all very much. Let me first thank the chairman and everyone here. Yep. Look, what a shock here for Trump. I'm going to fall over dead. Now look, every one of those boos, every one of those catcalls, every one of those yells will not keep it. Yes, sure. Will not solve one problem we face in this country. Will not solve, and will not make this country better. Your anger against the truth is reprehensible. When you think about the problems that our country and this world is facing, when you think about that, this type of pettiness is beneath the process of electing a president. Yeah. And as people watch today, if your arguments are so strong, if your arguments are so great, and mine are so bad, then just keep quiet. Let me make my awful arguments, and then you can just reject them out of hand. But the problem is you fear the truth. The problem is You want to shout down any voice that says anything different than what you want to hear. And you can continue to do it. And believe me, it doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. While being booed and heckled, Krispy Kreme claims that he was being catcalled, right? Again, which, you know, is interesting way to describe it, okay? I mean, that's definitely the closest that Chris Krispie has ever been to being catcalled. I'm pretty sure this man has never been catcalled a day in his life, right? But with that being said, again, the crowd is booing Chris Christie, okay? Because they already know what he's going to come out there and talk about, right? They know that his whole campaign has been about hating Trump. Nobody gives a damn about his actual policies, okay? He doesn't really talk about his actual policies. I mean, the guy left with terrible favorability ratings when he ended his term as governor of New Jersey, okay? He was not well liked, right? He's just a disaster of a politician. Now, meanwhile, Trump is actually going easy on Chris Christie and telling people not to call Chris Christie a fat pig.
And I say, listen, Bill Barr is not a fat pig. Chris Christie is not a fat pig, sir. I defend them. And the press goes crazy because they say, how can we criticize him? He's actually defending. But I said that because I just heard somebody call somebody a fat pig. No, we're not allowed to call those guys fat pigs. You can't use the word fat anymore. You can't use almost anything anymore. Almost any word that you use today, if you say to a woman backstage, a woman came up, the wife of one of our people, and she looked very beautiful. I said, I'm not allowed to say this, and this could be the end of my political career, but you're really beautiful. Beautiful woman, you have a beautiful wife. And you know what she said? Thank you, sir. You can say it as much as you want. Always.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Wow. Chris Christie is incessantly attacking Trump, right? Trump is actually taking the high road. He's saying, look, don't call Chris Christie a fat pig, okay? Don't call him a fat pig. Don't insult him, okay? Don't talk bad about Chris Christie, okay? Don't say things about him that could hurt his feelings, right? Again, Trump could easily roast up Chris Christie, and that's one of the main reasons I want to see Trump on the debate stage is to roast up Chris Christie, right? I don't need to hear Trump do anything else except roast up Chris Christie, right? Destroy him on the debate stage. However, Trump won't be at the next debate. Chris Christie, who barely qualified for the next debate, will be, right? As of right now, there's 4 people: Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Chris Christie, who, again, barely qualified for the debate. Now, with that being said, I think Chris Christie should drop out, right? He really should drop out. This whole campaign has been an absolute failure, right? Because if your goal was to take down Trump or to stop Trump, this guy's failed miserably, right? Just like he kind of failed as governor as well, too, of New Jersey. He's failing at the one thing that he's obsessed with, right? His life goal now is to take down Trump, and he's been absolutely awful at it. In fact, Trump's poll numbers have continued to go up and up and up, right? Despite the attacks, the constant attacks and obsession from Chris Christie, right? When you fail at life so many times, maybe, just maybe, that is a signal that you should focus on, you know, some other things that may be more important, right? Like Chris Christie, in my opinion, I would focus less on Trump and more on, I don't know, finding a gym, right? You know, getting a personal trainer or something, you know, and living your best life, right? That's what I would focus on when I was Chris Christie, because, again, this is just not working, right? And it's not a good look to continue to ruin your political career by, you know, attacking Trump, because ultimately, at the end of the day, these mainstream liberal media outlets, they'll bring you on to attack Trump, but once Trump is gone, they're going to have no use for you anymore, right? They're going to toss you aside, throw you in the trash, because they don't really like you as a Republican, right? They don't really F with you like that. They just have you on the show to attack Trump. So, again, I really don't understand why these people, from a political perspective and even from a career perspective, you know, go out of their way to just attack Trump for a living when it's clear that the networks that are platforming them to attack Trump don't actually really give a damn about them or their viewpoints. In fact, they actually dislike them, right? Like MSNBC dislikes Chris Christie. The only reason they allow him on is to talk about Trump. It's just fascinating. I think that Chris Christie should, you know, go ahead and drop out, call it a political career, and focus on things that will probably help him live a much happier and enjoyable life, okay? Because all this hate and vitriol towards Trump, this obsession with Trump can't be healthy, bro, right? It can't be healthy. And at this point, Chris Christie can't afford to have all that extra added stress. The weight on his shoulder, the extra weight on his shoulder of continuing to worry about Trump. Because Lord knows, if Trump actually becomes president again, who knows? Who knows, okay? That could really, really, really be bad news for Chris Christie, okay? I'm just saying, I'm not sure how much more stress his body can take, right? I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it 100. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.